someone will have to pay for that in the future to rebuild this country. And there are only three options. It could be Ukraine and Ukrainian society. It could be Western society, so us, or the aggressor, Russia. So let's choose who has provoked all this, and then it's much easier to answer who should pay for rebuilding this country.
Are you worried that there's a whiff of authoritarianism about taking someone's assets and giving them to someone else? Are you concerned about the, not quite, maybe the ethics, maybe the legality of it? Or do you think that in these specific circumstances, the moral case is very clear?
Well, of course, the moral case is very clear in this situation. It is unprovoked, unjustified, or started by Russia without any reason, just for kind of imperial thinking of, based on kind of imperial thinking of Mr. Putin. But the facts are following. There are so many property and human losses in Ukraine that someone will have to pay for that in the future to rebuild this country. And there are only three options. It could be Ukraine and Ukrainian society. It could be Western society, so us, or the aggressor, Russia. So let's choose who has provoked all this, and then it's much easier to answer who should pay for rebuilding this country. But it's not only about rebuilding this country; it's also about paying the prices of current situation. Economically, we are also taking a part of burden on our shoulders as the Western countries. Look at the fuel prices, look at the inflation. It's all deeply rooted in this aggressive steps taken by Russia. So freezing assets, it's not enough. We should look into the possibilities how to confiscate Russian money and then use it to stabilize the economy and to pay for rebuilding this, the Ukrainian economy.
Let's talk about an example of it. Roman Abramovich is being sanctioned in this country. He's been sanctioned in the EU. He's got Chelsea Football Club. These people also have yachts and things like that. Is it practical and possible simply to say when Chelsea gets sold, the money goes to Ukraine? When the yacht gets taken, it's sold to someone and the money goes to Ukraine. Is it as straightforward as that? That someone like Abramovich, we take the stuff off him and we give the money to a better use. Is that actually a possible thing to do in the modern world?
Well, first we need to look into the possibilities how to use freeze assets of Russian government, of Russian central bank. You know, there are a lot of resources which were blocked already at the very beginning of this war in February. 300 billion euros. Were blocked in central in banking system. So let's start first with this. Then, once we were able to freeze for some reason the money of oligarchs, why we have freeze as the Western countries? Because they are in a very close relation with Mr. Putin. This money was earned basically on a kind of symbiotic system with Russian aggressive revisionist government. So I know it may be somehow difficult to differentiate which money is from where, but that process once started, I think it would be much easier to find a way where is this money which is somehow in a legitimate way earned, and where and how is this money earned only because of the good relation
Well,
with Mr. Putin, and because of supporting him, because there is the last sentence, because there is a special social contract between oligarchs and the government of Russia. Government of Russia was supposed to do politics, and oligarchs were somehow taking money out of this system and earning money based on this. So there is a lot of collaboration between those two parts.
Well, can you go so far, just finally, Marcin, to say if you are an oligarch, none of your money is legitimate. It is impossible to be a Russian oligarch and become a billionaire legitimately.
Yeah, basically, probably you are right. I mean, if in the 90s, because those fortunes were started in the 90s, overnight or in a couple of weeks, suddenly some businessmen got billions or billions of euros. Of course, it's not fully legitimate, but. But I can imagine that there are also somehow, businessmen which are just trying to do a real business. So we should really look into the carefully in this system. It's not that easy, but I'm pretty sure that the custom services and the experts, both in Britain, US, and the EU, can really find a way how to do it and how to
Yeah.
confiscate, because there is a really need to get this money in order to pay for those losses.
Yeah, it's a very interesting point. Thank you for joining us this morning.